Good afternoon and welcome to the monthly meeting of the Canyon City Historic Preservation Commission. It appears that we are going to be short of members today to hold a quorum, but we do have several items we'd like to discuss today. We can still vote and approve the minutes of the last meeting. Is that correct, Lisa?
We can defer it to the next meeting.
We'll have to defer it to the next meeting. Anything that we need to vote on today, we will have to defer to the next meeting. We want to welcome Amy Schmeiser of the City of Canyon City Council for joining us today. We always are happy to have members of the council join us and kind of give us a little feedback on the items we need to work on a little bit on, or what. You always have good input, so we're happy to have you with us.
Thank you so much.
We'll go ahead and do roll call, even though we don't have a quorum.
Roll call will be Lauren Flick, Chris Jenkins,
Present.
Lester Lamone, present, Mike Madone, Rich Millard, Jim Nelson, Mildred Wentz,
Yes.
three
So
present.
we will postpone the approval of the agenda for the minutes of the February 22nd meeting until our next meeting. We do have some items that we want to discuss a little bit about on our subcommittee updates. Do we have any updates from the Public Outreach Committee?
Yes. Well, we just had our meeting before this. We had some members of the commission and myself attend the senior mini college last month, and we had a booth there. We had a great response, turnout, especially at our table, and I had also done a program at the senior mini college about historic preservation and identifying historic structures throughout this area. Unfortunately, I ran out of time in that presentation, but the hope is to continue to do that and offer that opportunity, have the resources available for the next senior mini college, and hopefully have an opportunity to do that presentation again to a broader audience, maybe in the fall or next year, of course, in the future, where I can present the whole thing.
We did get some very positive feedback, it sounds like.
Yes,
so.
we did get a lot of good feedback and a lot of interesting questions and comments too, especially during the presentation I did. There were a couple of people who were local, who had grown up here and wanted to share their stories about some of the houses I was flipping through on my slides. We also had a lady who came to our table who was interested in incorporating more historic preservation in curriculum. My understanding is that she was looking for some possible resources and information regarding that to create her own curriculum for historic preservation at the local level. And we got a lot of good response for the map that we did. And I can talk more about that in our historic context committee too. But the map that we created that showed a timeline of development within the Canyon City and the surrounding area.
Is there any additional information on the Public Outreach Committee?
We'll have our next meeting on May 24th at 3 p.m. And it'll probably be a review of some of the things that we discussed and opportunities that I'll be talking about in our announcements.
Okay. Is Rich joining us now currently? Rich, are you with us today? Hello?
I am here.
Great. We're going to back up a minute, and we'll have a vote on the agenda and minutes from the February 22nd meeting, if you've had a chance to review those.
I have, thank you.
Okay. I will now entertain a motion to approve the agenda and the minutes for the February 22nd meeting.
I can make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second?
Lester, if you'll do the roll call, please.
Lauren Flick, sorry. Lauren Flick. Chris Jenkins.
Yes.
Lester Lamone, yes. Mike Madone. Rich Millard.
Yes.
Jim Nelson. Mildred Wentz.
Yes.
Motion passes, and now we will continue with the agenda, and we'll speak a little bit about the Historic Context Committee. Lisa?
So we had another meeting, and actually we have a new volunteer who's a part of that subcommittee, Aaron Maleko, who were met with last week in helping to develop extension of the map that we are creating, a timeline of the development and additions and subdivisions that were added to Canyon City throughout the years. We're moving on from the 1860 to 1896 timeframe to everything from 1896 to 1935. Which is going to take us a little longer to accomplish. We have several plat maps, additions, subdivision maps that we need to go through and process and really get a better idea of the timeline. And they're overlapping in some cases too. So it'll be very interesting. And we'd definitely like to make this an interactive map that all people can see on either our website or the city's website, that they can see the progression of development in this community. That might be a couple years out, but we're keeping on this project, continue on with this project well into the future, of course.
Is this map available for the public to see, or is it something you just put on display at the senior mini college, or where can people see that right now?
Right now, it's they can come to the museum and I can pull it out. We have it in a digital format as well, but it's a huge file, very big file. We'll have to do some tweaking to make it more accessible on like a GIS type of platform. Again, that's a little more down the road, but that's the goal.
But currently, it is at the museum, and special events, you do put it on display. Is that what you did?
Yeah,
at least
if anybody is interested in looking at it, we can pull it out, of course. We're having to change it to the one that we printed out. Realized that we missed one of the editions. It was very small. So we'll be updating that as we go and find out more plat maps and additions that were added.
And it sounds like, Lester, when you were speaking with people, that generated quite a bit of interest.
Yeah, we had it at the senior mini college display, and it drew crowds. People wanted to see what it was about. And then just a very short explanation of this is the development of Canyon City and its growth over time, and of course it's color-coded and overlaid with dates. Mm-hmm. And we got a lot of interest off that, absolutely.
Well, it's been a lot of work. I know Lisa and I know we appreciate very much the efforts you guys over at the museum are doing to put that together, because that certainly helps people get a perspective of how the community has changed in that. We're already talking 100 years ago. You haven't even advanced past 1935, and if you don't pick up the pace, that'll be 100 years ago. So anyway, I'm not pushing you along, just saying that it's very interesting, and it sounds like the
You're
community's
slow,
very.
apparently.
We need more volunteers.
That's it, volunteers. Anything else on the Historic Context Committee? That's everything? Okay, I think we will open up the meeting for any public comment or announcements. Does anybody have anything they'd like to address or discuss at this time?
I have quite a few upcoming events and of interest, and of course, training opportunities as well. Tomorrow, there's going to be an open house for the Clock Tower Plaza concept right in this room, 4:30 to 6:30. Also, tomorrow morning at the museum, we're going to have our community coffee and conversation at 9 a.m., and the topic is ethnic heritage.
And that is at the museum, is that correct?
Yes, free coffee and donuts.
9 a.m.? 9 a.m.?
9 a.m. So if anybody has families or family heritage that in this community, of course, we've had a lot of Italian immigrants, Eastern European, of course, Native American, African American, anybody that has ties to different ethnicities. We'd love to hear their stories, and
Great.
we'll record the event. The other upcoming thing next month, May 13th, we are planning a historic walking tour of downtown from 10 a.m. to noon. We'll be posting registration on the museum's website later this week, so people can register. And it'll be a free event. And in terms of upcoming training opportunities, there's a couple that were posted on the CLG portal. Next month, May 24th, there's going to be a webinar on not another integrity debate, local preservation efforts and strategies in action, at 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., and you can register for that one through the CLG portal. That same day at noon, the Colorado CLG webinar is going to be talking about CLG reviews. And that's from noon to 1 p.m. And you can also register for that one through that portal.
Any additional announcements? Anyone else like to? Amy?
Thank you so much, Chairman. I just wanted to underscore or highlight one of the announcements that Director Stutes made, which is about the Clock Tower Plaza public input session tomorrow afternoon here at City Hall from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. The design company will be presenting a couple of options that they've developed based on the community input that was received through the online survey. And we just really hope that we have as many people as filled out that online survey, which was over 1,000, come into City Hall and express their input and thoughts about the various options that have been put together. We really want to ensure that the Clock Tower Plaza reflects what the community wants and what the community needs, and the best way to do that is to have people come in and let us know what they like and what they don't like. So just hope that we have a really good turnout tomorrow afternoon for that event. Thanks.
I'm going to ask you a question, though, Amy. The history of the clock tower and my feedback from individuals in the community have no concept of what that is, other than it looks fairly new. Parts of it is fairly new. Do you know a little of the history of it?
I would love to learn more. Would you mind sharing?
No,
with us?
I was wanting you to, but it was a part of the original county courthouse, at least the clockworks were.
Yes, the clockworks are, parts of it are from the original clock tower of the courthouse that was on the corner of Macon and 4th Street.
And then it was moved to the new one.
Yeah, it was moved to the new one, was it early early 2001?
No, it was originally, it was in the original courthouse that was
Yes.
torn down and rebuilt 2 blocks away. That's my understanding.
yeah.
Yes, so it
That
was,
was-
this is its third home.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
And so-
But when the building was torn down on the corner of Macon and 4th, the mechanical components of the clock tower were given to the City Municipal Museum. So the parts are actually on permanent loan to the clock tower project. We have an accession number on them somewhere, I hope. But they are part of our database.
So it has a lot of history, even though the structure itself is fairly new. The clock mechanism in the clock tower dates back to the original courthouse of the 1880s. So it's a very fascinating piece of Canyon City's history, and it allows you to kind of it's all within 4 blocks of where it originally stood. So it's just great that the city's taking this on and giving the community some part of preserving that history that sometimes goes with time, and if we can save part of it, it's just great that the city's doing this effort, and I want to applaud them for taking some effort there. I think it's a good focal point of our downtown, and if we can do something nice with that, I just encourage everybody to turn out to that meeting tomorrow, 4:30 till 6:30, here at the City Hall. And thanks for joining us today, and we appreciate it. Any other business? So our next meeting is on the 24th at 4 p.m. And if there's no additional business, then I will adjourn this meeting.